ideas will always succeed. Okay, cool. So I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, we can start our webinar. Xiaomin, please go ahead.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is our club webinar time again, every Tuesday, 5 p.m. China time. And today is our second webinar joined with Tmall Global Alibaba Group. And last time in 26th of May, we discussed some case studies about food and beverage categories. And today, our topic is about supplements. This is a very big category in China online, and the Chinese people, as we know, they love to buy foreign products. But on the other hand, there's a lot of the regulation to sell these products into China. So we call them CIQ, which means China Product Inspection and Quarantine. It's quite strict. So how to solve this and to catch the opportunity in China? Let's have a look at 3 brand case studies. Okay, here is a short list. Okay, and today the webinar again we will spend about 45 minutes, and then about 15 minutes for the Q&A section. And as we can see, all the brands, they have a very different background, and they produce very different supplement products. But the same thing is that the similarities are they all opened Tmall Global Store as their first footprint in the China market. And a little bit introduction of myself, because today we have a lot of people on YouTube or on Facebook. They are not our club member yet, so we have some people, they don't know us that well. So for the old members, please bear with me to spend a little bit time to introduce our club again, okay? So my name is Xiaomin Yang. I have 15 years of experience in the Chinese e-commerce market. And that's why I helped hundreds of merchants of brands to enter the Chinese e-commerce market. And also this is why I know exactly how difficult for a foreign brand to sell their products in China. And I co-founded this club business with Aina about several months ago, I want to share all the information, the knowledge, also the connections I accumulated for the 15 years to all the members, so that we can minimize your time, your cost, your risks, and your mistakes into the market. And also, please welcome Aina. Maybe would you like to introduce some of yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Xiaomin. As I usually mention, all foreigners do, if they are successful, they follow for the same process. If they are not successful in China, because they don't know what is the business process of success. And I believe in China how we just, by sharing the showcases, by sharing the stories of the all merchants and cases, we can learn much quicker and all together be successful. We not compete in Chinese market with each other. We compete with our internal execution part and our understanding. Thank you, Xiaomin.
Thank you, Aina. And a little bit introduction about the club. So as I introduced earlier, so it is an online community for the foreign merchants, for especially brands. And we have different type of content and services. Say we have a tailor-made teaching program for the foreign top management founders or CEOs or the China managers to understand the market. Because if you don't understand, you don't understand the market, all the decisions you make could be wrong. And we also have the weekly webinar as we're having today, right now, every 5 p.m. China time every Tuesday, and to give you the latest updates and share the experiences. And we also have the data report. I will share some of the data report by today's webinar, as you will see later. And also we build up connections with the partners and platforms. As now we are connecting, especially Alibaba Group, which I worked for. So yeah, this is about our club. Then the most important thing of today is to meet Alibaba Group. So please, Larina, she's from Alibaba Group Europe and responsible for supplement and food and beverage. So yeah, she's the right person that you should get in touch with. Okay, please, Larina.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Zarina Kanji, and I lead the Tmall business development for health brands and food and beverage categories in the UK and Nordics. I've worked here since September 2018, and I'm based in London. Prior to that, I was leading head of fashion and sport brand partnerships in Singapore with Lazada Group, which was acquired by Alibaba in 2016. And before that, my background was in fashion. So I've lived in London, Dubai, and Singapore. And today I'm here to talk to you about 3 case studies with Xiaoming that we work very closely with from the London office. So I'm going to introduce to you today the Alibaba Group ecosystem and a little bit about what Tmall Global is. So this before you is Alibaba's ecosystem. Now, our mission is to make it easy to do business anywhere. And we do that by having lots of different business units across various different sectors. So firstly, we've got retail commerce and wholesale commerce. So when Alibaba was founded 20 years ago, it was set up as a B2B company. So Alibaba.com basically took businesses from China to the rest of the world. And then what we're going to focus on today is Tmall. So over on the left-hand side, Tmall is a place for brands and the authorized distributor of brands to sell to Chinese consumers. So it's China's largest B2C marketplace, and within it is another platform called Tmall Global. Tmall Global is a cross-border platform, and we'll dive a little bit more into it in the next few slides. Over on the right-hand side, we have digital media and entertainment. So if you are a Chinese consumer and you want to watch an NFL game or an English Premier League game, you can do so by watching Youku. If you need to find your way to work, find your way to a restaurant, we have AMAPs. And then we have lots of different consumer services. So you can book a restaurant, you can book a holiday, you can have food delivered. And underpinning all of it is a logistics network, a marketing and data platform, Ant Financial and Alipay, which is our e-wallet, and Alibaba Cloud, which is the technology and systems infrastructure which powers the entire ecosystem. So if we move to the next slide. So to demonstrate how integral the Alibaba ecosystem is to the life of a consumer in China, imagine perhaps that you wake up in the morning, you need to go to work. To check your journey time, you would look at AMAPs to see how busy the roads are and plan your route. You can order a taxi and you can pay for it with Alipay. At lunchtime, you can have food delivered to you, or you can book a restaurant. And then while you're having lunch, you can watch some videos, you can browse some stores on Tmall, you can maybe think about going on holiday and booking a travel deal through Fliggy. And then after work, you go to the supermarket, maybe you go to Fresh Hippo, which is our new retail luxury supermarket, of which we have around 200 across China. You can have a meal inside there, take another taxi home, and then when you get home, perhaps you're back on Tmall again, looking to buy something that you browsed at lunchtime on Tmall or Tmall Global. So it's very integrated in the life of a consumer. The average Chinese consumer would come to Taobao, our C2C platform, and Tmall on average 7 times a day and spend approximately 30 minutes a day on those 2 platforms alone. Next slide. So let's talk a bit about Tmall. Tmall is, as I said, the #1 B2C platform in China, and it's the place where brands or the authorized distributors of brands sell through branded flagship web stores, as you can see on the right-hand side. We have 846 million monthly mobile active users. with around 60% of the consumers under 30 years old. It's a very young demographic who are, for the most part, interacting via mobile. So everything in the palm of their hand, and over 20 million comments and shares of brands, products, live streams happen every day via mobile. We go to the next slide. So Tmall Global is the largest B2C cross-border e-commerce platform in China. So Tmall Global is a channel within Tmall. It's integrated within the same app, and it's a place where brands who are international can access the Chinese market, and it offers a few different business solutions. The main one is the Tmall Global flagship store. Over 80% of brands who sell on Tmall Global made their China debut on the platform, and we're going to hear from 3 of those brands today. Right now, we've got over 25,000 international brands from almost 100 different countries and regions, selling in over 5,000 different categories. So it's a very exciting place to be. Next slide. So I'm going to just explain exactly what is cross-border e-commerce, because it's a really big point of difference and a really big advantage to Tmall Global. So cross-border e-commerce means that the brand is selling directly to the Chinese consumer. They are able to sell into China with the brand exactly as is in the home country. So the legal entity can be outside of China, the bank account in your home country, the trademarks in your home country, and you're able to ship to the consumer via bonded warehouses in duty-free trade zones in China, or global fulfillment centers or consolidated warehouses in Hong Kong or across the rest of the world. And that point of difference is really important, because it means, going back to our mission, we're making it easier for those brands to access the Chinese consumer. So it's a very quick way to enter the market. And for consumers, it's a way for them to access lots and lots of different brands from around the world that they're not able to find at home. And as Xiaoming mentioned at the start, for health supplement brands, this is really, really key, because it's quite challenging to register a health brand in China. So the advantage of Tmall Global is that health supplement brands can reach the Chinese consumers with relative ease. Next. And I think it's really important to highlight how different retail and the shopping experience is in China to the rest of the world. So as I mentioned, you've got those consumers who are very, very engaged, coming 7 times a day to our platforms. And what are they doing that they're spending so much time with us? They're sharing, they're recommending products and brands that they've seen. They are exploring and discovering new brands. Every time they open that app, they see something different. The apps are personalized, and they are going to send you products that are interesting to you that you can then, as I said, like and share and recommend with your friends. When you look into a product display page, what you'll find is that the majority of SKUs start with a short video. So immediately they engage you and encourage you to spend more time. And then the most exciting thing that we're seeing at the moment is live streaming. So the ability for key opinion leaders and influencers to demonstrate products and brands in live stream sessions, so that you can then watch and understand how the brand and product works. And then you can see now, buy now. You can purchase it instantly and have it delivered to you, perhaps the next day if you're in a tier 1, tier 2 city. Next. So just to give a summary before we dive into the brands, the consumer and category trends that we're seeing on Tmall Global. So as mentioned, it's really important to note how young the customer demographic is. So they are what we call Generation Z, under 25 years old. And what we've seen actually post COVID-19 is that we're getting a lot more consumers from less developed areas. When I say less developed areas, what I'm talking about are your tier 3 cities. So that is still a city with a population of between 150,000 to 3 million people. So that's on top of the existing tier 1 and 2 consumer who has been a traditional Tmall and Tmall Global consumer. Health supplements, including food, are the top 3 category on Tmall Global. And some of the most established categories that we've seen in the past are collagens, beauty collagens, fish oils, iron supplements, sport nutrition, and traditional teas and honeys. And what we're seeing now are some new trends, in particular meal replacements. So healthy meal replacement products that you can take with you as you go to work, throw in your rucksack and have something healthy to eat on the go. Immunity boosting products. So your traditional vitamins like C, D, A and B are becoming increasingly popular. Probiotics and the trend for gut health is as big in China as it is becoming in the rest of the world. For the first time as well, we're seeing more of a focus and demand on older health. So we saw a lot of people over 40 coming to shop on e-commerce platforms for the first time through the COVID-19 crisis. And that has led to a big demand in products for joint health, eye health, brain health, and menopause products. And then finally, we have a big demand for sleep aid products. In China, as in the rest of the world, they are working longer hours, they are more active all the time. So it's quite hard to decompress and to get a restful night's sleep. So products which will help the consumer to get quality sleep are very much in demand. Over to you, Xiaoming.
Thank you very much, Darina. That was very helpful.
Yeah, Xiaoming, before you start, I just want to tell for all participants from around the world, it's always interesting to realize how big is Alibaba now. In every part of our life, Alibaba around us. And usually when I'm in Shanghai or in Shenzhen, I always use all Alibaba services. And that's a brilliant part because you just need to choose one partner and just follow with this partner and you can be successful in China already. Because Taobao and Tmall together, it's the biggest majority of whole e-commerce. So you don't need to push around with all platforms. You can just focus on Tmall Global first. Yeah, please go ahead, Xiaoming.
Thank you, Anna. So yeah, let's go to our main part today about 3 case studies. The first one I'm going to introduce is Proven. This is a brand from the UK, and actually, they're originally they were a lab and factory. Okay, they research and develop and manufactured the probiotics products for big brands in the United States and Australia, and I believe you have heard of all the big names. Okay, and in the year 2011, they decided to launch their own brand, which is Proven. And but they just used a very traditional model to sell in the UK and some other countries by offline only. And in China, they adapted online. And their USP to the Chinese consumers is their expertise. They specialized only in the probiotic products. And as you may know, the probiotics is more complicated than, let's say, vitamins, right? So because you have to make the germs and let it grow, so it's complicated. And so they don't do any other products. And also, although this is a supplement, but they also passed the same clinical trial as medicine to guarantee the quality and effect of the consumer, the users. And also, as you can see, they cooperate with some very famous British universities, such as Cambridge. And that is why the Chinese consumers, they trust these big universities, of course, much more than the Chinese government, right? So this is another reason. And also they have a lot of new products. For example, as we can see in the pictures on the right-hand side, the probiotic for women, this is very popular in China now because the female, they are getting more and more attention to their own health. So this is a new trend, and they because the traditional probiotics is what a digestive system, something like this, but they now have this product. for the this is one of the top seller in the Chinese market. And let's have a look at the performance in China. They entered the Chinese market in the August of 2019, last year, and as we can see here, they had a spike on this March. Why? Because March the 8th is the International Women's Day in China. So that's why, yeah, a lot of women, they bought the probiotic for women, as I just mentioned. And another thing, and also their sales target for this year is 35 million RMB, so which is almost 5 million US. And another interesting I can share with you is how they passed the CIQ. I mean, that the future plan of the CIQ. Yes, supplements is very difficult to pass the CIQ, but proven they have a new plan. They are going to launch the drinks and with probiotics. Okay, and then they can put this into the beverage category. So because in food and beverage category, it is much easier to pass the CIQ. So if you are producing the similar products, supplement, maybe you can think about this way. And they're about marketing, they are using we call them KOL, which means key opinion leader marketing. And in China, we have another special term in Chinese, we call it 种草, which means to plant the seed in the consumer's heart. Okay, it's like a plant, a 种, which means a plant, 草, which means seed or a grass seed. Okay, so that means to do the branding softly in your heart and let the brand to grow in your heart. And eventually, especially as a new brand, people use this method to do the branding softly in your mind, so in your heart. So that is called 种草. And in China, there are many this kind of KOL platforms, for the TikTok, Little Red Book, or 简书, or 知乎, or 快手. So, but maybe you have heard of a TikTok, which is very popular in the Western world. But another suggestion for you is, in China, TikTok is not very good for a supplement category. Okay, for other categories, it is very good, but for supplement category, they have a very strict rules, restrictions for the supplement category, for the marketing and sales. And so what we can learn from Proven? We have a discussion with this brand, and also have some suggestions from ourselves. From the brand perspective, they gave us 3 points. I mean, for the merchants who are planning to sell the products into the Chinese market. Okay, and the first thing is TP is very important. TP means Tmall partner. Okay, which means the company, the local partner who will take care of all your business in China, including the store setup, the operation, the marketing, the customer service, the logistics, etc. And so that's why you need to create the synergy with our TP. They Proven they had first contact with the TP in last May, and in last August they kick off the business. They launched the business. So that's a very good example for the business. And also don't worry the complicated too much, because if you have a good TP, they will help you with all the difficulties. And another thing is to have a Chinese, it is very good. Why they can make decisions so fast? Because one of their top management, senior management team is a Chinese. And also the last point is to do the marketing, always do the marketing based on a good product, because they specialized in the probiotics category. So that is why their marketing activities are very effective. And from our club perspective, we also give you 3 suggestions. Number 1 is, as Verena has said, cross-border e-commerce is the best channel for foreign supplements to enter China market. And second is you always trace the market trend and develop the products. For example, the women probiotics I just mentioned. And the last point is the 种草. Okay, if you can remember this word, and when you talk to the Chinese partners, you tell them, okay, I want 种草. They will be very surprised and realize, okay, you are an expert of this industry. And also, finally, I give you some data about this industry as we can. I'm not going to introduce too details, and just you can see there, some top sellers on Tmall Global, and these are some brands, top brands in this probiotics, and also some brands in the whole supplements category. All these data are open data, okay? Because on Tmall, on Alibaba, all Alibaba group marketplaces, they provide transparent data. So which means you don't have to spend a huge amount of money to buy data from any consultancy firms, okay? And of course, I think it could be difficult for you to grasp, to collect all the data and do the analysis because you don't know, you are not familiar with the platform and you don't know Chinese that well. So that's why we also, the Chinahow.club, we provide data reports. We systematically collect all the data and organize the data and present to you, so to save your time and effort. So this is what we are doing. So Anna, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I always remind for myself and for all club members and brands, in China, we are all equal, because usually Chinese merchants, they don't know too much about all brands from foreign countries. So even you're a super big company or you're just a small startup with very aggressive team who want to achieve very good sales results, you will be the same for Chinese market, which is good. And I think if you know the strategy and you just follow these trends and use the methods what we just shared and we prepared with Xiaomin and Zarina today, you will be successful. There are no magic, and you don't need to be a super big brand to be successful, which is excellent era because it's a place for entrepreneur minds of team founders and general managers. If you are entrepreneur in your mind, you can be very successful in China.
Thank you very much, Anna. And by the way, if you have any questions about today's webinar, please leave your question in the chat box of Zoom or in the comment of YouTube or Facebook. Okay, and we will answer them after the introduction. So let's come to the second case study, which is Myprotein. They are an online brand founded in 2004, and they produce the protein powder, okay, which is for this for the people who go to the gym and to build up their muscles. Okay, and this product is, it's very popular in the Chinese market. Why? Because after the COVID-19, the first thing people want to do is go to the gym and lose their weight. And also because this brand was founded online, so their price is relatively lower than the traditional brand. And so this is another reason why they got successful in China. And they entered the market in August of 2015. And just 3 months later, as you can see, their sales reached over 1 million RMB in November. Why? Because on November the 11th, that is the biggest shopping festival in China and around the world. Okay, you may have heard of Black Friday. So let me give you a number. Last 11/11, okay, we call them Singles Day because that's 1111. Okay, Singles Day. The total sales of GMV of Alibaba Group, Tmall in China only, it is 38 billion US dollars, which is 5 times bigger than Black Friday globally. So you can see that's why, yeah, they seized the opportunity of the 11/11 on 2015. And in this year, their sales target is 150 million RMB. And this makes them one of the biggest protein powder brand in China online. And because they are strong like this, so they can easily go to any offline channels and or online channels, talk to them, okay, I'm Myprotein, right? And please work with me. But if they are not so successful online, and that nobody knows them in China, then it's very difficult for them to find any partners. But even now, 60% of the sales is still coming from their Tmall Global flagship store. Okay. And also they made the localized product for the Chinese market. Say the milk tea flavor. Okay, of course in the UK nobody will like this, right? But in China people love it. And also let's go to the suggestions from Myprotein. The first one is they adopt the fast pace of China, especially e-commerce. In Alibaba Group, everything trends so fast. For example, many times when I was in Alibaba, many times we decided, okay, we have a campaign this afternoon. Okay, and then in the morning we will tell the merchant, okay, you have a chance to join. Are you going to join us? If you tell, okay, let me think about it, I will report to my headquarters and I will give you feedback next week. Okay, then bye-bye. If you do this more than 3 times, okay, nobody will think about you anymore. You can see it is very crucial to catch the opportunity. And also, you need to understand the Chinese market. Although this brand, Myprotein, they are an online brand in the UK, and but their experience and their knowledge is non-transferable to the Chinese market. Okay, and because China market is much bigger and faster and more mature than the UK, so they have to study everything again. And so this is the suggestion from their side, and from our side, from the clubs, we also give you 3 recommendations. Number 1 is the protein powder is also a fast-growing category, okay, especially after COVID-19, as we can imagine. And also develop and optimize your product. Say they provide the milk tea flavor, right? And also, most important, launch the business before 11/11, because in Alibaba Group, there's a rule that for every new store, you cannot join the 11/11 if your store open only less than 3 months. Okay, because if a new store less than 3 months, your first target is to smooth your operation and supply chain, customer service, this kind of thing, not to grow the sales. So for new stores, you cannot join. So which means the deadline for this year, 11/11, it is this August. So if you act right now, you and you probably can catch the opportunity. Otherwise, you have to wait another 1 year. And by the way, the Myprotein was brought to Alibaba Group by Ken Adali. He's also here in today's webinar. So, and let me give you some data about Myprotein. It is, as we can see, this is the figure by month. We can see this growing very fast month by month about the protein powder category. And 80% of protein powder is made in the 2 countries, the US and the UK. And here, this is more interesting. If you look at the brand price band, the best price range is from 200 to 600 RMB if you're going to sell this kind of product. The blue bar is the sales. The red bar is the SKUs. So we should choose for the if the blue bar is longer than the red bar, which means there's more sales in this price band and less competition, less products. Okay, so that's the rank you should choose. And this is just the tip of iceberg of our data report, because yeah, if you join the club, we will provide you a much more detailed report than this. So our last showcase is Hairburst. Hairburst, it is this brand is the product is very interesting. They produce the crossover of supplements and beauty. Okay, to produce hair vitamins. So to nourish your hair, not by shampoo or expensive shampoo or conditioners, it's by supplements. That's very interesting, right? And this is they were founded in 2014 in the UK, also in the UK, yes. And they seized the opportunity of social media, which means Instagram, okay. And at that time, Instagram just launched, and a lot of people to follow the KOL there, and they also sell their products through online. Okay. And what is their USP to the Chinese? Number one, the young generations in China, they are anxious about their health and beauty, especially the hair loss. Okay, and the second thing is in China, there's the traditional concept is we should get the best nutrition or supplement is by food. Okay, so this is so they also match the concept of the Chinese. And let's have a look at their performance online. They started business in last April, and in last 11/11, I mentioned just now, right? They reached almost 2 million RMB sales. And in this year, their sales target is 15 million RMB. Okay. And these brands, they're the most cost-effective channel is in China. They realized that it's a Little Red Book. Maybe you haven't heard of what is Little Red Book. It is a social media platform just to share products, especially the imported products in China. And in our club, we have also a special class to introduce the Little Red Book how to work with it. And because although they in the UK, they work with many KOLs, but unfortunately, these UK or Western KOLs are blocked in China. So they have to, again, research and accumulate the methodology and the KOL base in China again. And of course, they have found some very useful ways to and KOLs. And here comes the suggestions from Hairburst. Number one is you should put down all your knowledge and experience from your home countries. Okay. For Hairburst, they're also selling their product not just in the UK but in other countries like the US or Vietnam or Middle East, and they just copied everything from UK to these countries. Okay, it works, but in China, it didn't work. Okay, so they have to do this again. And so how to do this more effectively? The first thing is to acquire the knowledge, okay, and to really understand what is China e-commerce. And yes, this comment is from James. To join the Chinahow.club, it is an effective way, one of the effective way to know the Chinese e-commerce. And from our club perspective, we say that the supplement product beauty is an effective way. It is a very fast-growing channel for and category. Okay, so this is another important trend, and we can also see this from the data, and also it is good for you to find a good project leader. Okay, I totally understand how busy a CEO can be. You have a lot of meetings every day. So my suggestion is you can assign a Chinese project leader, okay, and who should be open-minded and willing to learn everything, the knowledge, make the strategy, and engage with the Chinese people, okay, and then he or she can align with you and report to you and other top management. So this is my recommendation. Jane, are you here? Okay, maybe, yeah, okay, Jane is not here. She was here, okay. And last, I would like to show you one example of the management tools that we use. For Hairburst, they struggled one thing in China initially. It is the price system, because they realized, oh, in China, every day we run different kind of discounts, okay? And this is really confusing, because this is in other countries, it's not like that, okay? So, in our club, we made this. It is a table, very easy table, but that for you, so that you can control all the channels, all the products, and all the price in one table. And you can have a centralized control. Say this is a regular price and promotion price, and big promotion means 11/11. Okay. And in our teaching program, we have a lot of such tools and content about the market, and also this kind of practical tools so that you can use in your daily business. So that's all for my introduction. And Anna, would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you, Xiaomin. I also want to remind about 11/11 opportunity. We all in supplement category, we have a repeat purchase system, yeah? So that means if you have a good product and you have a first time buyer, you can sell him again and again and again. And in Tmall, and in Tmall Global, they have a very advanced CRM system, and you can use it. And if in 11/11 you can catch this opportunity, you will create a lot of base to repeat purchase. So that's another reason why you can catch up to 11/11. And second is about open-minded people. It's easy to say, but from my experience and our club members' experience, it's hard to realize. Exactly. Be open-minded person in China is really hard, and it's take 3 to 6 months to finally digest. Is a totally different system, methods, but there are system and methods. We just need to know them. So that's things from my side. And now we're going to the Q&A session, and these 3 cases. It's exactly why we made the club, because when you don't know these cases, you feel like, wow, it's super big brands only achieve good results in China. But when you already know them, these 3 cases and even more from our past webinars, you can say for yourself, oh, it's impossible to be successful in China. It's possible, you just need to follow the process. So what our summary? Yeah, we have a Tmall Global, and it's a first step in the Chinese market. And 11/11 campaign, I already mentioned it. And what you can do also, you can apply for our form. We already shared in our YouTube and Zoom link, and you will have a call with us, and we will describe you in all details what to do and how. And also we will connect you directly with Zarina and a Tmall Global team, and we will help you to choose some strategy to working in China based on our club members' experience and also based on Xiaomin experience. So please apply this form.